Mississippi. Joining us now, Hunter Dawkins, the SuperTalk Opinion Contributor and publisher of the Gazebo Gazette. Morning, Hunter. How's it going?
Mr. Gerard, it's always very nice to hear from you, and I thank you very much for having me on your show. It's a very special privilege.
Absolutely. Appreciate you joining us. So let's talk first about the number 16 ranked Southern Miss Golden Eagles, who downed Louisiana 2-1 in the Sunday Sun Belt Championship game. So it looks like they're headed to a regional in Auburn, I believe, right?
Absolutely, that's correct. I spent the weekend up in Montgomery. Great town, great weather. All the rest was great, and Southern really they came back and they made it happen. The first two games were pretty solid games, at least coming out, and then they had a little bit of hiccup with Appalachian State on Saturday or on Saturday morning. Then they came back and won the last two, and the big guy Justin Storm really took the Storm to the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope they go deep in the tournament. Love to see them come away with a trophy over there at the regional, and maybe that'll put them in position, maybe, for hosting a super regional, depending on how things work out in the other regionals. But they've got I think they've got the talent and they've got the chemistry to take them far in the postseason, and we wish them well.
Absolutely, and what I heard yesterday from the inside that the commissioners or the AD members that were part of the commission that selected the regionals, that Southern Miss was very high, and it was unfortunate that they didn't get to, but they're in the regional. I think that they can take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it's election season, election year in Mississippi, and I think that now that Memorial Day is behind us, we're shifting into full gear, approaching the August primaries, and then, of course, the November general elections here in Mississippi, when we'll go to the polls and we'll elect our statewide leaders, all offices, and, of course, all of the members of our legislature, our House and Senate. You're getting geared up for this by hosting a political debate, right, on June the 24th in Long Beach, Mississippi. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. That's the absolute. The thing that I've really learned, because it's the third year that we've hosted this political debate, it's all, as you know, Mr. Gerard, that it's all politics is local. And trying to make this, especially since it's a statewide and county races, too, that's something that I had kind of brought together when we first started this. I used it for municipality back in 2021 with mayor, alderman races. A little bit of a smaller one last year with the midterms, but this year I think it's going to be really good. We've had commitments from a few statewide officials, and I have debates planned for the sheriff race, which is a huge race down here in Harrison County because we are the second largest county in the state, and also we have quite a number of things that this sheriff race has to take into context, and both candidates have worked with the sheriff's office for a good number of time, but from what I've heard, there is differences in opinions of both, and I want to get that out there. That's one of the reasons that I'm hosting this, is because from what I've heard in the past, having these open public debates really helps people make decisions on who they want to represent them.
So you've reported, Hunter, that you've got some gubernatorial, lieutenant governor, secretary of state candidates confirmed to attend. Can you share with us who those are?
Well, I do have the lieutenant gubernatorial candidate, Christian McDaniel, is committed, as well a few of the minor gubernatorial candidates. I'm still waiting for Governor Reeves and Governor Presley, or not governor, but Public Service Commissioner.
You made his day.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Or yes, sir. I'm sorry. On the 24th, I've pretty much set both of them, and I've talked with both of them, and they're going to kind of wait and see. The Secretary of State, Mr. Watson, he hasn't reached out to me, but he's also a very good friend, and he is very liked in the Long Beach area, and I think that is a priority probably for him in his campaign. But I've also heard from the challenger of the Secretary of State who has committed the race, and I've got a few of the state legislators that are going to be in town for that, and very much, or pretty much, all of the county candidates have committed to the upcoming debate.
Right, and the way I understand the structure of this event, Hunter, is that the candidates each are afforded 3 minutes, right, to discuss their candidacy, share their vision for the office, and then if the candidates agree, they can move into sort of a debate style forum, and you've got moderators available to kind of oversee that. Is that right?
Yes, sir. You're absolutely correct on that, Mr. Gerard. The option, like you had mentioned, that we will give them 3 minutes per just a discussion of campaigns, and if they want to be on the road and go do something else, that's their priority. But if both groups or however many candidates agree to debate, we will have a setup where we'll have the panel discussion with some questions. Then the students, we're going to have a student section, which Long Beach is the #1 school district in the state of Mississippi. So I think we feel very confident with that, and with the great superintendent, Dr. Talia Locke, is giving me the plus on having that. And even with the last segment, I call live audience questions, where I select a few of the audience members that have wanted to raise questions, and I think that's kind of giving you a centerfold, for of questions. You're getting it from the panels, you're getting it from the kids, and you're getting it from the audience, and so I think that that equals a great debate.
So, with respect to state level issues, Hunter, what do you see as the priorities for Mississippi citizens and voters?
Well, the questions that I'm kind of gathering and put together definitely have to be about, the hospitals, the state health, and what we're going to do with not only with a potential Medicaid expansion, potential hospitals, how the money, we're going to get more money to the rural hospitals, the income tax, are we going to cut it, or are we going to leave it the way it is? And just a lot of legislative issues that have kind of popped up, especially too about the initiative plan. Are we going to come back, or are we going to make that happen to go back to creating an initiative? I think you know what I mean by that.
Yep.
That's at least from the statewide. But the local races, I've got a lot more, especially in the sheriff's race. That's a big deal down here because of the issues that we've had in the school districts, with not only with guns and things as such, but also now the sheriffs were granted, or the Harrison County Sheriff was granted by the Board of Supervisors the ability to patrol the beach.
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of drug activities come through, shootings and spring break and all those different level things. That's going to be a lot of where the questions I'm going to gather that information from.
Well, it should be interesting, because that's a lot of issues that I think as well are showing to be the most important to voters. I see it certainly here on the program, on the text line, and just out, and anecdotally in my orbit. This is what I hear from people, and I think this is what candidates are hearing as well. And so they'll have their hands full addressing all of those issues. They can be fairly thorny, as you know, and fairly complicated. But, Hunter, We appreciate you joining us today. Look forward to reading more of your opinions, and of course, always enjoy your articles in the Gazebo Gazette. And I'm sure we'll check in with you again after the debate, June 24th, Long Beach. Appreciate it, man.
Mr. Gerard, I appreciate your help and the Super Talk promoting this event, and I definitely hope we get to do some more work together.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. We're taking a break right here, folks. Coming right back in the Element Well studios. Sally Doty, Director of the Mississippi Office of Broadband Expansion and Accessibility at 12:05.